Some marriages don't end in screaming. Some end with a message from an unknown number and a video you can't unsee.
My story begins on what should have been an ordinary Friday evening and instead became the night that quietly destroyed a 15-year marriage. My name is Michael Harrington. I'm 43, an IT director for a mid-sized financial firm, and until recently, I believe my life was solid, if not spectacular. Not perfect, not a romantic comedy, but steady. Dependable. I've been married to Rebecca for 15 years. We have a 12-year-old daughter, Sophia, who is the center of my world. Our relationship had changed over time as they do. The intensity of our early years had settled into something quieter: logistics, school runs, mortgage payments. We weren't in crisis. At least I didn't think we were. That Friday, Rebecca mentioned an after-work happy hour. A networking thing, casual, harmless. She kissed my cheek, said she wouldn't be late, and left in a navy dress more suited to a club than a bar. I noticed it. I noticed the extra perfume. But I didn't say anything. I trusted her. I made dinner, helped Sophia with homework, and loaded the dishwasher. At around 10, when Rebecca still wasn't home and hadn't texted, I told myself she was just having an extra drink, that I shouldn't be controlling. The word would come back later like a poison dart. At 10:23 p.m., my phone buzzed. It was a text from an unfamiliar number with a short message. "Is this Michael? You need to see this. I'm sorry." Underneath was a video link. It was shot inside Solaris, a downtown club Rebecca had once dismissed as a place for 20-somethings. Flashing lights, crowded dance floor, pulsing music. And there she was, Rebecca, my wife, in that navy dress. Pressed up against a man I recognized from stories, Eric, a charismatic colleague from marketing. His hands were on her hips, sliding down her thighs, lingering where no one but me should have been touching her. She laughed, throwing her head back, grinding against him in a way that left nothing to the imagination. He cupped her face. Their lips hovered dangerously close. She didn't pull away. This wasn't a clumsy drunk moment. It was deliberate. It was intimate, and it was public. I watched the video twice. Then a third time, I didn't cry. I didn't yell. I didn't throw my phone. Something colder took over the part of me that understood boundaries, respect, and the quiet ways trust dies. This wasn't just about sex. It was about humiliation. When Rebecca finally walked in at 12:40 a.m., smelling of alcohol and perfume that wasn't hers, she looked at me with vague annoyance, not guilt. "You're still up?" she asked. "Yes," I said. "We need to talk." I handed her my phone. No preamble. No accusation. Just the truth between us, playing on a 5-inch screen under kitchen lighting. I saw her recognize herself. Saw the flinch when Eric's hand slid up her thigh. Saw the moment her jaw tightened and she shifted from shock into defense. "That's not what it looks like," she said. 3 of the most insulting words in the English language. "Really?" I asked quietly. "Because it looks a lot like my wife grinding on another man in a nightclub while he touches her like I don't exist." She rolled her eyes, a gesture that felt more contemptuous than anything in the video. "We were dancing, Michael." "It was a club. People dance. Is this your definition of dancing now?" I asked, letting a coworker run his hands over your body while you press yourself into him in front of half the city. "You're overreacting," she snapped. "It was harmless." I had a few drinks. Everyone was just having fun. That word again, harmless, as if humiliation had no weight. "If it was nothing," I replied, "why didn't you mention you were going to a club instead of a bar? Why leave out that Eric would be there?" She hesitated, only for a moment. Then the next tactic, deflection. "This is exactly why I didn't tell you," she spat. "You're so controlling. You always have to know where I am, who I'm with." I almost laughed. In 15 years of marriage, I had never once told her she couldn't go somewhere. I'd driven her to girls' nights, suggested getaways. You're rewriting history because it's easier than admitting you crossed the line. I said, "That's your opinion," she replied coolly. "I'm not going to grovel because you can't handle the fact that I have a life outside this house." There it was, not remorse, not regret, contempt. Something inside me, long ignored, finally settled into place. "This conversation is over for tonight," I said. Not because I'm controlling, but because nothing I say will matter if you redetermine to defend something that clearly disrespected our marriage. I slept in the guest room. In the morning, she made pancakes for Sophia and acted as if nothing had happened. I stayed quiet, watching her perform domestic normalcy like a role she'd learned long ago. Later that day, I met my friend David for coffee. I showed him the video, watched him shake his head, anger flashing on my behalf. "If this were reversed," he said, "you know exactly what would happen." I did, but this wasn't about revenge. This was about who I was willing to be from this point forward. Love can survive boredom, arguments, even distance. But it cannot survive contempt disguised as just having fun. The foundation of our marriage didn't crack when she walked into that club. It cracked when I pressed play on that video and realized the woman on my screen had stopped caring how her husband looked to the world. And once you see that clearly, you cannot unsee it. Thanks for listening. If you've ever been through something similar, share your story in the comments. And please subscribe for more.